What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody had a great week. I'm Andrew with Brews and Board Games, and welcome back to another Sunday show where I just go over games that I've been playing, some news, as well as some videos that you can expect from me in the upcoming week. I had a great week. I hope you guys did as well. Played a few games. There's a bunch of news to get to. So without further ado, let's just hop into it. Well, I should say one thing before we do. If you guys hear any kind of commotion or any loud noises, I apologize. There's a lot of stuff going on upstairs. Kids are running around crazy. So we just got back from my sister's, had a blast. So they're running around, they're going nuts. So I do apologize. So let's just get into it. First game, Spirit Island. I played Lightning Swift Strike. I played this solo. Being able to play those slow cards or powers fast, huge, man. That was one of the things that I really felt helped me win the game. I don't play this one too often, but I want to try more. So I played a solo game and I got to the level 2 stage and I had a few fear cards built up, so I was able to have a massive turn. So on that turn, I was able to take out a lot of towns and cities, and then the Dahan fought back, and it was just, I had a massive turn. And that one turn, I knew it sealed the deal. Me personally, there was a few explorers left on the board. And you know, once you hit that level 2 stage, you only have to defeat the towns and cities. The explorers can still be on the board. But it doesn't feel right to me, right? Because if you have the explorers still on the board, what's to say they're not going to build any more towns and cities, right? Thematically, it kind of doesn't make sense for me. So the way that I played, I actually finished out and I defeated all the explorers. So I did win the game. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, Lightning Swift Strike, being able to, is it Lightning Swift Strike or Quick Strike? I forgot. But being able to play those slow cards fast, or slow powers fast with that air element, massive. It really helped me out. So that was a lot of fun. Cthulhu Wars Duel. I haven't played Cthulhu Wars, any of the Cthulhu Wars stuff. So I did pledge, I think the latest Kickstarter was like Damon Sultan, something like that. So I am getting it. But I wanted to try this compact version out just as something to get to the table a little bit faster, and I really enjoyed it. You know, it's this small box here. There's only 2 factions, Cthulhu and the Black Goat. Had a lot of fun with this one. I was playing Cthulhu, and man, dude, the Black Goat was able to, it has a unique power where when you summon monsters, you can summon multiple monsters instead of the usual one. That, I just felt like that was massive. And the Black Goat was able to get a bunch of monsters onto the board and kind of swarm me. So there was a huge battle, which I felt like was a huge turning point. And they killed Cthulhu and they got a bunch of Doom points. So it was like, that one battle, I feel like, sealed the deal. So the Black Goat did end up winning. But yeah, the Cthulhu's power was pretty cool too, because once Cthulhu is summoned, every time you go to summon Cthulhu again, it's a lot cheaper. So that it's cool. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I do like the compact board. Like I said, I wanted to try it out, and I wanted to try something a little smaller. And I had a lot of fun with it, which makes me more excited to get the big version. Right, those minis, which are massive. I'm looking forward to that. So that was fun. God of War, the card game by Come On. I've had this one for a while. What I try to do when I play games, right? I got a bunch of games, right? I mean, even if it's not as many as other people, obviously I'm looking for something to play, right? And I don't always want to play something that I just got, right? I want to try to show some love to the stuff that's been on the shelf for a while. So that's what I try to do with God of War, the card game. I've had this one for a while, and I did play solo. There's 2 ways that you can kind of play. One is 2-handed with 2 different characters or more, and then they have a solo variant. Not all the characters can be played as solo. And I played a Kratos and Atreus classic, right? I love Kratos. So, and I love this. I love the video game, so which helped me to buy this game. So, and I played through, it was Helheim, and then Alfheim, and then I played Mogni and Modi. Mogni and Modi, something like that. Those the final boss. And dude, I do like it. I like the quick card play. You can have these huge turns if you can really combo some of the cards. And then the upgrading system at the end of the round, you can choose which cards the enemies played. that were activated, and you can choose a card, put it in your deck. I like that idea, I really do. And that's a lot of fun. So I did end up losing in the final boss. Helheim's cool. And in Helheim and Alfheim, I kind of found the same thing, right? In Helheim, there are these two fire things, you know, what do you want to call it? Not pits, but like just stacks of fire that you have to keep lit. And I think that's to keep the ship afloat. So once those go out, and if those activate again when the fire is out, you lose. So it's a cool thing of going back and forth, like, okay, you got to make sure the fire's lit, right? Then you jump back into the battle. Go back, like the fire gang, go back into the battle. And Alfheim has a cool thing too, which is kind of similar, where you have to defeat the Hive and the guy's name, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. But the Hive has like 60 HP, which if you know the game is massive. So, but it gives you some special cards that you can add to your deck, which if you play 2 of those cards in that combo, you can do like 20 or 30 damage. It's something huge. So it's cool to try to get that combo going. But just having to like hit the Hive and then go back and fight the guys, because if you don't kill the Hive, and let's say you kill another smaller minion that spawns, if you don't kill the Hive, the guys keep coming back. So you have to kill the Hive to stop the flood of the guys. And I think it's a really cool idea. I had a lot of fun with that one. And then yeah, the boss has just got me. I was trying, I like the rage abilities in here too. I think it's cool. Every time you attack, your rage kind of goes up a little bit. So, but it was a lot of fun. Even though I lost, I do like checking this game out a few times here and there. It's a fun little one to get out. You know, it's not a huge game to get to the table. And sometimes I like that, right? These games here, they had a small footprint when you were playing solo or multiplayer. So it was a lot of fun. And then Sanctum. I tried Sanctum out for the first time yesterday, Saturday. Dude, cool. I mean, a lot of people compare it to Diablo, and it really does have that feel. I mean, the characters feel kind of the same. You're going on a journey, right? You got the 2 elixir things, like the red elixir and the blue elixir. And then as well as you got to go and you got to fight like the Diablo looking character. It was a lot of fun. I mean, the upgrading bit is one of the funnest things, right? So you got to roll dice, try to match those dice on the minions that you're fighting. And then you're upgrading those same minions after you defeat them. They flip, the card flips over and it becomes items. So then you got to pay for those items with gems by moving these gems up a certain, I don't want to call it chart, but it's kind of like a chart. And when you move them up to a certain space, you can now spend those gems on those items. It's cool. I really enjoyed that. And then I played this solo, 2-handed. One was like the barbarian, the other was the archer. And then what happens is when you get to the final boss, the funny thing was when I started playing this game, I was like, okay, this is a full co-op, right? We're both trying to, you know, level up, get to the boss. It's not a co-op at all, because when you get to the final boss, I played this game 2 times. When you get to the final boss, you lay out like, what is it called? The Demon Lord cards for each player, and each has a certain amount. And you have different cards. So as the barbarian, you have to finish and defeat a certain row of Demon Lord cards. If you do, you were successful in defeating the Demon Lord. But then the other player has another set. And if they lose or if they fail, so what? It's not like the barbarian can help out the archer. So I was playing as 2, like I said. I won as the barbarian, I lost as the archer. It was close with the archer, but I did lose. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. When I played it the second time, I understood it a lot more. And this is a bigger point that I'm going to mention right after this. So when I played it the first time, I didn't quite understand everything, right? You know, that's kind of how the games are, right? And then the second time you play it, you kind of know how things click a little bit more. So knowing that, I kind of knew what to look out for as far as upgrades. It was able to help me out a lot more. And the barbarian was getting a little bit better upgrades. So I feel like he was able to defeat the Demon Lord because of those better upgrades. But one thing that just to wrap up this game, I had a lot of fun with this game. And I think I am going to try to do a review this upcoming week. But what I wanted to talk about was, I think my new favorite way to learn games is to read the rule book, and let's say it goes, okay, on your first move, like what you can do is you have 3 actions, right? You can move, attack, the usual, right? Just start there, right? And then so it says, okay, I have 3 actions. I have the board all set up. Maybe I just start there. And then it says, okay, after you've performed your actions, maybe the enemy goes. And then I do that. I play like a rough way, at first. And then as certain things come up, then I look at the rule book. Instead of what I used to do before is just reading the rule book and then trying to hop into it. What I found for me is that doing that, I'm able to go, get to a certain point. And I'm like, well, what happens here? Okay, I look into the rule book and now I know. Me, at least the way that I work, when I'm reading some of these manuals and it starts getting to like page 30, 35, I'm starting to almost forget what I read before. Because I might not also read the manual straight on. I might read like 15, 20 pages, maybe 10 pages, put it down, have to come back because I'm doing something else. So I'm forgetting a little bit as I'm reading. So what I found was, as I'm doing a rough playthrough, I'm able to answer those questions, and for some reason that sticks with me. And then I'm able to complete the game. And then once I play it again, now I'm like, okay, now I can do this. Everything makes a little bit more sense to me. I don't know, it's been working for the past few games. I did it for Sanctum. I think I did it for, I think it was Solomon Kane that I did it for as well. It's, for some reason, it just works a little bit better for me. So I'm gonna continue that going forward, because honestly, some of those manuals are rough to get through, right? I am just kind of losing interest as I'm reading the manual, not in the game, but just in my, and that's just a personal problem, right? Reading all this manual and then just being like, oh, what, oh crap, what was I able to do on my turn, right? Because now I'm in the nitty gritty of what each item does, right? So I'm trying a different method, and so far it's been working. And those are pretty much the games I played. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with getting some of this stuff off the shelf and playing it. God of War has been sitting there for a while. Spirit Island I needed to show that some love, so I did. So again, I'm just trying to show a little bit games that have been on the shelf for a little bit some love, and that's what I did this week, and I'm pretty happy about that. So let's move on to news. We got a few games here. I got my notebook. So let's start with Chronicles of Crime 2400. So the game, the physical copies delivered, at least if you back the Kickstarter. What they did was they launched, and they only had the text, like, it's an app-based game. They only had the stuff ready for one of the games. I believe it was 1400. So they had, slowly over time, they would release 1900 and then 2400. So at least for right now, this is Game Development Update 3. So it was originally planned for June, but some stuff happened. Progress has been slower than they thought. Now it's estimated for August. So that pushes also the Chronicles of Time, which is a Kickstarter thing, back into October. So everything just got pushed back a little bit, but it is still coming. Marvel X-Men United, Update 77. The Pledge Manager has launched. So that is launched on their platform, Pledge.it. So they are offering 2-wave shipping. So one wave will include the X-Men core stuff, no stretch goals, no add-on, just the X-Men United core box. The second wave would include everything else, stretch goals, add-ons. I believe add-ons for the Marvel United, whatever it's called, the Marvel United stuff back in the previous campaign, not the X-Men stuff. So it says that the core box is estimated to deliver in September. So that's pretty cool. About the same time, it will go into retail. So pretty interesting. Wave 2 will include everything else, right? Optional buys, stretch goals. That's estimated for May 2022. And then, so the deadline for Wave 2 is June 30th. So if you want Wave 2, June 30th is when you're gonna have to complete that. If you are getting Wave 1, the deadline to complete your pledge is July 30th. So you got about a month longer. So Pledge Manager is open. Get your pledges done if you want to. If you're on the fence, you have until June 30th if you're going to do 2-wave, and single wave is July 30th. Massive Darkness 2. This is update 82. This update talked a lot about the campaign elements in Heavenfall. So it just basically did a overview of everything. It just talked about the campaign is going to take place over 8 scenarios, I think out of like 14 possible ones. Covers examples of new abilities heroes can get, new dice that the enemies and the heroes are going to be able to use, because I guess in the campaign, instead of like a straight game, you get up to a certain level. In the campaign, you'll be able to get to a higher level. So you're going to need different dice, and it goes over some of that. As well as it covers some of the town phase as well. Like there's some locations that you can go to, and each location is going to do something else. So this update covered that. As well as campaign cards, which is going to be like a narrative for the story. It's just going to have some story context, and I think, you choose different options. The different options say different things happen, so on and so forth. And then that adds to the narrative, and it can be attained by completing side quests, winning scenarios, completing achievements, and making decisions during the story. And finally, it just covers some campaign rules changes and some new enemies that are going to be added for the campaign itself. So that is Massive Darkness 2. If you want to know anything about the campaign mode from Heavenfall, check that update out. That covers a lot more than what I said here. It looked like a pretty cool update if you're interested in that. Dinosaur World. This is update 27. So the games are completely done. And they are completely packed up. They had some pictures on there. Everything is packed up in the shrink, in the boxes, ready to go. They just need to get containers and then get those containers on the ships, and then everything else past having the games done, that's what they're waiting on. And they were just basically saying how hard it is to get those containers, to get a ship for the containers. After that, how long they're gonna have to wait. So they were talking about another 5 to 6 weeks. They were basically covering US stuff, but they did add a little bit more for other regions. So basically, long story short, fulfillment won't likely start until August. That's what they were saying. So likely fulfillment in August, if everything goes right. Hopefully it does. I did not back that. I was thinking about pre-ordering that from Game Nerds. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's go over Nemesis Lockdown. This is update 29. So as you know, I did an unboxing for Nemesis. The core box is still being shipped out. A lot of people are already getting their stuff from all the regions. But the main thing that I want to talk about is the UK region. So there were a bunch of delays. A few of you were talking about it, right? You're still waiting for your game. But so they said it took them a little longer to prepare for shipping in the UK. Apparently they had some delays, no kidding. And then it says delivery should start in the next few days. Great news, right? So the next few days. So next week, the week after, a lot of you UK guys should be getting your pledges. So that's very exciting. So I just wanted to touch on that for that alone. And then one other one I have is 6 Siege. I don't know if you guys seen this game, but this is based on Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Made a bunch of video games about it, some books, very popular stuff. So Mythic is actually making Rainbow Six Siege, the board game, or Rainbow Six, the board game called 6 Siege. Basically, it's going to be 2 people pitted against each other, and you're going to have 6 troops that you're going to be going around the board battling. I know there's a few videos out of gameplay as well as reviews already, so if you guys are interested, check that out. You can also go to the Kickstarter launch page, and they have a notification if you want to be notified about that. And that is coming up. I don't have a specific date. I was looking around for something, I couldn't find it. I looked on BGG, and Leo from Mythic Games was on there, and he was answering a few questions or stating some things. And so he actually said it's only going to be a 10-day campaign. So it's going to be a shorter one, not a crazy long thing. And it won't have all these crazy stretch goals like some of these big campaigns do. He said they are going to have some secret surprises that are going to be pretty cool. And they are going to have some stretch goals, but it's not, I don't think we should be expecting all of this stuff, right? I think, and as well as a 10-day, what are they going to release, like 3 stretch goals a day? So I wouldn't be expecting too much as far as stretch goals. But special surprises, and there will be some stuff that is going to be revealed. So if you guys are interested, again, I don't have an exact date that this is going to be released. I'll put a link to the notification page in the link description below. But if that is something that interests you, definitely check that out. I know I'm notified to be, I'm on that notification list. This one looks really cool. It's got some 3D elements, which I think it really makes the game pop a little bit. So this one looks exciting. I am really interested in that. Let's see, The Witcher still has 5 days to go. And I wrote this down this morning. It's currently the afternoon right now, Sunday, but over 35,000 backers, still 5 days to go. And it's over $5 million raised. Crazy, crazy. That is just incredible. But I am still personally on the fence about this. There's a few things, I don't know what it is. It's not pulling me in as much as I thought it would. If I do go in, it is only going to be for the standard box. I don't need the deluxe for this. I mean, just for a few more minis, I don't need it for this game. So if I do go in, again, it's going to be standard, but I am still on the fence. I haven't made a decision yet. I might just go in for the lowest pledge. I think it's like, you know, either $1 or $5, something like that, just to have access to the pledge manager. But again, I don't know what I'm doing. So that is The Witcher. Crazy, crazy, man. Over $5 million, still 5 days to go. And then the last one I have is Victorum. This is update 12. So the pledge manager is planned to be launched the week of June 14th. They say, kind of hinted at more specifically, probably actually on the day, June 14th. So, and, excuse me, and they're planning on switching their pledge manager from CrowdOx, and they've used that for a few campaigns to actually, I guess the pledge manager is called Pledge Manager. I don't know, I've never used it. I've backed a few of their things, and I've always used CrowdOx, like they mentioned. So I'm not sure how that's going to be. I'd be interested to check it out. And yeah, they were talking about, I guess they're moving offices and stuff like that. So they were working on the pledge manager. I guess it was I don't know if they wanted to get the pledge manager out sooner. I don't know. So, but it is launching the week of June 14th. More than likely June 14th itself. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And that's pretty much I had for the news. There's a few things coming up. I'm hoping to see. Sounds like my daughter's crying right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my wife will handle it. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for more news next week. Hopefully I got some other cool things. I'm waiting for Oathsworn news as well as Conan news. So hopefully that stuff is coming very shortly. And then so the week in review, you know, videos to look out for. I know I said last week that I was going to have the, Cthulhu Death May Die video, the playthrough of me and my wife. On that other video all week when I had time, which was the Gloomhaven, Frosthaven dungeon terrain DIY. Dude, that took all my time. But honestly, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Pretty happy about it. It's cool, especially that intro, dude. I watch that intro sometimes and dude, that epic music just gets me every time. But I really enjoyed my play of Sanctum, and I think I'm going to try to get a review of Sanctum. I think this game needs some love. I did really enjoy my play of it. I think it's a cool game. If you like Diablo, this might be right up your alley. It has that feel, it really does. It plays quick, right? It plays, to me, what I thought a good solo play as well. It's not a huge game to get out. I think it hits that sweet spot of nothing too long, like it doesn't overstay its welcome, a good challenge, and it offers some cool mechanics. So I am going to try to get a review up of this game as well as finish editing that playthrough that me and my wife did and get that out onto the channel as well. So that's what you can expect in the upcoming week. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like I said, I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great upcoming week. Happy Sunday. And that's going to be me. So if you guys have any other news that you want to add to any of the games I talked about, or anything you think is worth mentioning, please write something in the comments below. I would love to hear it. So yeah, until next week, grab some brews, play some games, and I'll see you guys later. All right, see you guys.